What is self-inquiry? So, self-inquiry is using questions in order to have a direct experience. It's not brainstorming or assembling a collection of thoughts. Think about if somebody handed you an exotic fruit that you've never tasted and they said, "What does that taste like?" You couldn't look at the fruit and try to imagine it. That would not be telling you what it tasted like. You'd have to bite into the fruit. And as soon as you had actually tasted it, you would know the answer to the question. You might not have words to describe it yet, but simply by savoring the flavor, you now know the answer to the question. In the same way, self-inquiry asks questions until you know in your personal experience what you are. There's two main types of self-inquiry. The first one is tuning in to what you are, to the eternal, unharmable core being essence. The second type of self-inquiry is to ask questions that help us understand and dismantle the ways that we create a suffering self, a self that can be harmed. Now, coming back to the first type of self-inquiry, we are tuning into that core essence of what we are. So one possible question is, what am I? And you feel that being, that I amness. Now, sometimes the first answer is something associated with our body. However, if you had all your limbs amputated or all your organs, many organs replaced, or you were unconscious for an extended period of time, you wouldn't say that you stopped being. So there's something more root than even your body itself. Now, as you ask that question, what am I? And feel, what is it? What is this essence that can say I am? It will at first feel very subtle, usually. But as you ask this over and over and just feel it, marinate in the pure being essence, it starts to become more and more accessible. And the longer that we marinate it, the more we transition from thinking of ourselves as our projected identity and personality. And instead, we feel what we are, this unharmable awareness. So as you start asking questions of the first type, especially what am I, the goal is not to have a good concept about it or philosophy about it, and if thoughts come about it, you can just let them pass away. Rather, it's to marinate in the experience for 30 seconds or 5 minutes or a whole hour. And each time this thing that seemed very subtle becomes more almost palpable until it becomes that ground of being from which all the rest of life is seen. So as you explore the different inquiry we'll be offering you here, this gives a foundation of where self-inquiry can lead you to that sense, that experience of that being essence, that ground of being that is never harmed and has always been there.